Imagine waking up one morning and the news reads, "The world has officially run out of gold." What happens to your money? What happens to your country's currency? What happens to the entire global financial system? A system that, whether you know it or not, is still quietly anchored to that one shiny yellow metal. This isn't science fiction. Scientists estimate we could hit peak gold mining as early as 2050. And by 2100, the accessible gold on this planet may essentially be gone. So today we're going to follow the money, all the way to the end. Before we go there, let's ground ourselves in some numbers, because they're honestly staggering. Right now, humans have mined approximately 210,000 tons of gold throughout all of history. If you melted it all down, it would form a cube just 22 meters on each side. That's smaller than a typical city block. And we're down to our last estimated 50,000 tons still in the ground. At current mining rates of roughly 3,500 tons per year, that's maybe 14 years of known reserves. Now, miners will find new deposits. Technology will improve. Deep sea and asteroid mining are real possibilities. But the era of cheap, abundant gold, that era is ending. And when it does, the consequences for your wallet, your savings, and the global economy will be profound. To understand what's at stake, you need to understand one thing. Gold and money have been married for nearly 5,000 years. From ancient Egypt to the Roman Empire to the British pound, for most of human history, money was gold. Or at least, your paper bills were a direct promise that gold was sitting in a vault somewhere backing them up. This was called the gold standard. It meant governments couldn't just print money whenever they felt like it, because every dollar had to be matched by real gold. Then in 1971, US President Richard Nixon made one of the most consequential economic decisions in history. He ended the gold standard, completely, unilaterally, in a televised address on a Sunday night. Overnight, the dollar, and soon, almost every major currency in the world, became what economists call fiat money, from the Latin fiat, meaning let it be done, or in plain English, money backed by nothing but trust and government authority. This is the world we live in today. But here's the twist. Even though governments officially abandoned gold, they never stopped hoarding it. The US alone holds over 8,000 tons. Germany, Italy, France, all sitting on thousands of tons more. Gold was officially dethroned, but it never left the building. So here's where it gets really interesting. When gold becomes genuinely scarce, not just expensive, but rare, three things happen almost simultaneously. Number one, the price explodes. Basic supply and demand. Less gold coming out of the ground means the existing supply becomes astronomically valuable. We're not talking about a 10% price increase. We're talking potential 10x, 20x, or more over the coming decades. If you own physical gold today, you're sitting on one of the most valuable assets of the 22nd century. Number two, central banks go to war. Right now, countries like China and Russia have been quietly, systematically buying gold for years. This isn't a coincidence. It's a geopolitical chess move. Because whoever holds the most gold when supply runs out holds enormous leverage over the global financial system. A country with massive gold reserves can weather currency crises. It can back a new currency standard. It can demand favorable trade terms. The nation that is gold-rich in 2075 may be the economic superpower of 2100. Number three, the alternatives rise. This is where Bitcoin enters the story. Bitcoin was literally designed to mimic gold. It has a hard cap. Only 21 million will ever exist. It's scarce. It's decentralized. It requires mining. As physical gold becomes rarer, the argument for digital gold becomes stronger. We may see a world where Bitcoin, or a similar asset, fills the role that gold once played, as the ultimate store of value and the anchor for a new kind of monetary system. The irony? The internet generation may inherit the financial role that gold played for 5,000 years. So who wins and who gets left behind? The winners, gold-hoarding nations. The US, Germany, China, and Russia are already positioned. Countries that have been accumulating gold quietly will find themselves at the top of a new economic hierarchy. Early investors, anyone who bought physical gold, gold ETFs, or gold mining stocks before peak supply, will see extraordinary returns. This isn't investment advice, but the math speaks for itself. Tech innovators, companies cracking asteroid mining or deep-sea extraction, will literally create trillion-dollar industries from scratch. The losers, gold-dependent economies, countries like South Africa, Ghana, and parts of Latin America that rely on gold exports for a significant chunk of their GDP, face an existential economic threat when the mines run dry. Countries with weak currencies, nations that use gold reserves to stabilize their currency, will find themselves increasingly vulnerable. Their money could fall into hyperinflationary spirals as the anchor disappears. Anyone not paying attention? And honestly, that's most people. Most of the world has no idea this conversation is even happening. While governments and central banks are making long-term moves, the average person is completely unaware of the slow-motion transformation underway. That's partly why videos like this exist. So what does the world actually look like when gold is gone? Here's my honest take. We won't see a sudden collapse. There's no cliff edge where gold hits zero and the financial system explodes overnight. What we'll see is a gradual tectonic shift. Fiat currencies will continue, but the countries that back their digital currencies with gold reserves will enjoy vastly more trust and stability than those that don't. A new monetary hierarchy will emerge, with gold-rich nations at the top. Digital assets, whether Bitcoin, central bank digital currencies, or something we haven't invented yet, will increasingly fill the role that gold once played as a neutral, scarce, globally recognized store of value. And the countries and investors who understood this 50 years early, they'll have shaped the world you're living in. The last gold rush isn't happening in a mine. It's happening in central banks, in investment portfolios, and in conversations like this one. The question isn't whether the world changes. The question is, are you going to be ready when it does?